Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to work out on a couple more examples using the definition of derivative, how to derive the derivative of a function using this particular formula right here, like the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So we're going to go ahead and plug in this function into this definition formula and see what we get out of it. So I'm going to start with this one. So we have limit as h goes to 0. And I'm going to start plugging in this into right here. So we have 2 for x. I'm going to plug in x plus h because that's the point we are looking at, x plus h square plus 3, and for x I'm going to put this x plus h minus this 5. All I'm doing is plugging in x plus h for every x we have in our function. Okay, so we're substituting x plus h here, and then we are done with this part right here, and then we're going to go ahead and subtract minus, in parentheses I'm going to put f of x, which is basically the function 2x squared plus 3x minus 5, and then everything is divided by h. Alright, not that good. Add that. Let's do it again. Alright, I'm going to try to write it better. Here we go. So we just substituted our function into this formula right here. Now we're going to go ahead and simplify it. So I'm going to limit as h goes to 0. Okay, h goes to 0. Now we go ahead and simplify this square, and so we got 2x squared plus h is, you get x times x is x squared plus 2hx. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and simplify a little further, so it's a x plus h and x plus h. So we multiply x with x, you get x squared, x with h, you get hx, and then h with x is also hx, h times x, that's what hx means. H times h is h squared. Okay, I can do it without doing this, but I just wanted to show you how I'm doing it. And plus, we have 3 in parentheses x plus h. I haven't distributed it yet in this step. Minus 5 minus, we have this right here, 2x squared plus 3x minus 5. And then everything divided by h. So now we go ahead and do this. Limit as h goes to 0. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute this 2 inside. So we got 2x squared plus this hx and hx are 2hx. So 2hx times 2 is 4hx plus 2 times h squared is 2h squared plus 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times h is 3h minus 5, and this negative gets distributed inside. So when there's a negative, there's no number, that means there's a 1 here automatically, so there's a 1 here, so negative 1 multiplies inside. It basically changed the sign of every term inside. So the 2x squared is a positive, it becomes negative since negative 1 multiplies with it, negative 2x squared, and negative 3x, and negative times negative becomes 5. So when there is a negative outside the parentheses, then it's multiplying with the terms inside, it's going to change their signs. So the positive becomes negative and the negatives become positive, and then everything divided by h. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and simplify this. So let's see if we can cancel some terms. Yes, we can. This one is gone. And this 2x squared is gone. And this 3x is gone. So I'm canceling the terms. So what are we left with now? Okay, so we have limit as h goes to 0. We're left with 4hx and hx plus 2h squared plus 3h divided by h. Alright, I don't have enough space, so I'm going to go ahead and factor out the h from every term in the numerator. So we have h outside. We're left with 4x plus 2h plus 3. I'm just taking h out from every term right here in these three terms and divided by h. And this h cancels with this one, and as h goes to 0, this thing is gone since h is 0. So we are left with 4x plus 3. So this is your final answer. So the derivative of this function right here is 4x plus 3 using the definition of derivative. Let's work out another example. So I'm going to use the same thing, the definition of derivative. I'm going to use this function this time and plug into this definition. So we get, this time I'm going to leave the limit out. So I'm just going to start with this, just plug in for every x plus h. For every x, we're going to substitute x plus h. So we get x plus h square minus 2. For x, I'm going to put x plus h minus 2, and then minus f of x is just this right here. I'm going to put it inside the parentheses so we don't get confused with the signs right here, and it's the limit as h goes to 0, and then everything divided by h. Okay, in the next step I'm going to go ahead and simplify it. So this becomes x squared plus 2hx plus h squared minus 2x plus h minus 2 minus 3x squared minus 2x minus 2, everything divided by h. In the next step, I'm going to go ahead and simplify this. This 3 multiplies with x squared, you get 3x squared. And here you become, when you 3 multiplies with 2, it becomes 6hx. Plus 3 times h squared is 3h squared. Minus, and then you simplify this, negative 2 times x is negative 2x, minus negative 2 times h is negative 2h minus 2. And then we're going to multiply this negative inside. It's going to change the sign inside. So we have, and the sign here it also changed when we multiply with negative 2. This x becomes, when negative 2 multiplies with a positive x, it becomes negative 2x. And when negative 2 multiplies with positive h, it becomes negative 2h. So negative is always going to change the signs inside. So this becomes negative 3x squared, because 3 was positive, so it's negative, and this is negative. So it's going to, negative times the negative is going to become positive, so 2x plus 2 divided by h. Alright. So in the next step, I'm going to simplify them. So this negative 3x cancels this one out. So let's cancel the opposite terms. 2x cancels 2x, positive 2 cancels, negative 2 I guess we are done with that. Okay, so now we're only left with 6hx plus 3h squared minus, what else is left? That's it, minus 2h divided by h. Now I'm gonna factor out h from here. We can factor out h. So h is factored out and you're left with 6x plus 3h minus 2 divided by h. This h cancels out, and since h goes to 0, limit as h goes to 0, this is also cancelled, becomes 0, so you're left with 6x minus 2. So I would recommend practicing some problems, and that would make it easy for you. I'm going to come up with a few more videos on this, and then after that, we'll work on some more detailed and different ways of finding derivatives. Thank you.